sailors, soldiers, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Forces. Today you are about to embark upon the great achievement crusade to which we have strived these many months. The crusade in question being after Georgia. 3 Georgias in fact. I guess you could say we've got Georgia on our mind. But to keep things interesting, there is an additional task. Team America. We have to nuke Paris. 2 achievements, 1 USA, 1 video. All of it done in Arms Against Tyranny. So here we are. And as we should always do, let's begin by looking at the achievements we've got in store. We'll need to nuke Paris. We can kind of play around that later on. But most importantly, Georgia on our mind. We need to have our Georgia, which we already have. We need to get the Georgia of the Soviet Union and the South Georgia Islands. So that's basically going to mean going down here and getting this island from the UK, thus the Allies, and getting this state from the Soviet Union. The good news is then that we don't have to go to war with Germany. For now. The bad news is that even though we control this Georgia now, we are going to still need to fight for it for our full plan to be complete. The focus tree plan is to work towards re-establish the gold standard and ally with the silver shirts. But that basically means we're going to have to wait a year for the election. So I'm just going to take focuses for a year, and I guess I'll see you later. Okay, so sorry about that shortcut. The game doesn't really begin for me until we get to the election of 1936, where we have to go with the Republicans. This means that, lucky for us, we can actually start taking the focuses that matter, such as re-establish the gold standard. But I'm gonna finish what I'm doing over here first. Of course, a mechanic to always keep in mind when playing as America is the senators wanting you to build things in different states. It's basically always worth it to do. They want a mill in North Carolina. Consider it done. Oh, we have the truncated focus trees now, don't we? So the USA focus tree, you just get to see this section. That's pretty useful. But now we must go with America first. We are planning for a civil war. Oh, it seems that we need to save up to get a guy called Charles Coughlin, but I'm just a little bit short of the old political power. That's okay, no worries. I can just delay and go fund the Navy for a bit. Truth be told, in order to get these achievements, we're not really in too much of a rush. For some of it, we're actually waiting on Germany to get strong, and then we just take advantage of them. There goes Japan and China. Hopefully that doesn't cause me too many issues when a certain ship accident happens. Maybe we should extend the Chinese Exclusion Acts, just to make sure that has nothing to do with us. Political power seems to only be going down. Yeah, maybe using all of these designers to take up my political power maybe wasn't the best idea, but hey, I really like my research bonuses, what can I say? Why, yes, I am building my military in the south. How can you tell? Okay, we can finally pick up Charles Coughlin, which means once we get a few ticks, we can start working towards ally with the silver shirts. Goodness, every focus in this tree is 70 days, isn't it? Never mind, I'll just keep trotting on down here. And finally, with the UNSC program done and our Spartans on the way, we can get amphibious operations for our transport models. Not something I explicitly said we were going for, but it's useful to have if you're going for the Georgia on my mind achievement, especially to get here. Okay, with things mostly settled now, I don't think there's reason to delay any longer. What we need to do is ally with the silver shirts and make our way down as quickly as possible to work with the Bund. This will ensure we get states like Ohio, Missouri, etc., which is actually where I've positioned all my troops currently. After that, we finally need to make sure we get recruit the Free Corps, as this is effectively your surefire way of winning the Civil War. Oh, and speak of the devil, it's the Japanese. Since they're not really the goal of what we're going for, let's just get our compensation and not worry about it. Oh, and Japan gives us 100 political power. Now that is pretty good. Protests in the capital. Yeah, I feel like there's precedent for that not being a good thing. If we invite some donations from German sources, I wonder what the likelihood is that they actually help us. I guess that's good. And so finally we get to work with the Bund, and the Civil War will be on its way. the 10 million march being one of the stepping stones towards that eventuality. Oh no, they're stealing my guns! Of course, this was prior to the international market, where I can probably just buy 4,000 guns from the UK. But oh no, they're stealing my guns, I guess. There it is, World War II, the catalyst that could really spiral things out of control. Hopefully, once we get started on our war, there won't be anyone joining anybody's civil wars. We don't need anything crazy happening. We just need a very chill game. Oh, wait, there it is. My goodness, that took a time. Amelia Earhart. You know what? Let's take her. The Boston Rebellion. Okay, so things look pretty good right now. They 100% are not good right now. We're just going to need to chill for a second and hopefully things will resolve. The first thing to do is, of course, get on pause and start setting up your armies ready for where the chaos is going to begin. So we're probably going to need an army somewhere over here to deal with this. We're going to need an army over here to deal with the threat to the west. And then probably a smaller, more close-knit army to just push through and solve this as quickly as possible. The final thing to note is click Raise the Silver Legions. This is going to keep on giving you great units all the time. The Second American Civil War. Don't worry. This should be your first achievement if this has already happened, but it's all going to be fine. Just let it explode. Okay, the East Coast has risen up and I'm pretty sure that's the most of it. So at this point we should be able to stick them on the main line and just let them push. Okay, let's see what they can do. The Northwest secedes. How bad? Not too bad. They haven't pushed all the way up. Okay, there goes the Southwest. The West Midwest. Any more Wests to consider? Oh god, that came up much closer than I thought it was going to. The hope is that if we swarm in fast enough, they won't really be able to deal with this. MacArthur offers to lead the government. You know what? We need him. Desperate times and desperate measures. In the meantime, Professor Griswold should be able to be the central head of all of our men. I think we might have encircled them in our speed and haste, which is pretty good. Yeah, once the East Coast falls, this should be pretty much done. I told you I wasn't too worried. I understand that over here they're pushing in, but oh no, they're taking Arizona. What will we do? Oh, and yes, I would like another 6 legendary Silver Legions. Surely the route south isn't just completely open at Phoenix. Surely that's not going to be the case, right? So a reason it's fun to come back and do old achievements with new DLCs is because some of the older nations can get new decisions. And one of them is establish the Greenland Patrol, which hopefully means we can get Greenland just by clicking a button. As much as I do enjoy getting encirclements, I worry that we're not really doing this as quickly as we could be. It's interesting to me that we are winning. There are very few fronts that we're not really winning on anymore, especially now that we're kind of pinning them in these cold northern regions. But when I actually look at the war thing, they have 0% capitulation. This has to be like an archaic glitch, right? I mean, they're very clearly getting beaten. Maybe more Silver Legions can help the situation. What's so broken about the Silver Legions is they have full org, full equipment, and full training. You just get them for nothing. It's so silly. I think Los Angeles has fallen. Come on, this has to be well on our way to beating them now, surely? Or do I have to take every single tile? If I have to encircle every single unit, I will. Every unit encircled. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. Oh! Or maybe not. It just required taking San Francisco. My goodness. I'll just take my land and probably take back my navy. Really, I get 10% more tension just because I want my navy back. That doesn't seem fair. The American junta reigns supreme. At last, it is over. And with the Second American Civil War done, we can officially say the First Georgia has been secured. I think my way of approaching the oncoming war with the United Kingdom is probably going to be taking Constitutional Convention, where we become fash. We just instantly ask to join the Germans faction, and hopefully get into the war. I've already planned out a naval invasion using the Greenland that we acquired to just fly straight on by and hopefully take them out. Hopefully. Okay, here we go. So, we click the button. We're now the Confederate States. We asked to join Germany. Let's bring it all the way down to 2 speed. We asked to join their war. And then hopefully that's us going. Oh, it stopped. We only have 45%. Okay, well it won't necessarily stay like that forever. Such as immediately. It's important to also remember that Britain no longer has the American oil reserves, which means their fleet will no longer be able to stay up for anywhere near as long as it used to. Oh, I'm probably at war with Canada too, right? I'm sure they'll figure it out. In the meantime, do we keep Douglas MacArthur? I'm not sure. I think he's done his bit. Let's ask this Charles guy, right? I feel like Charles should be able to help us out. Ah yes, this is the guy. It's time for our alternative D-Day landings in Scotland. 1 landing here. That makes 2. I think we might be okay, you know? Let's just make sure they're all actually assigned to a push. And what a push we need to make it to. Wait, the whole British army literally just appeared out of thin air. It's fine, it's not lost yet. The Dominion of Canada has capitulated while I was completely not paying attention dealing with the Scotland situation. I'm just sort of pushing through with 0 supply and then preparing another invasion in the south, which will actually deal with them. I really thought that if I speeded straight into Scotland they wouldn't have any units here, but they had 12 units in Scotland for some reason. That is unless, of course, that now we actually have supply, I'm able to just completely bust through Scotland. Okay, is England empty? Did they forget to put people here? I mean, if they forgot, that's okay by me. Uh-oh. I don't think they were prepared. Do we think George Washington is smiling down on me? The United Kingdom is done. So, first things first, the South Georgia Islands, non-negotiable. That is the achievement right there. After that, it doesn't really matter what we go for, but I guess it would be nice to get some sort of hegemony in North America. Well, this is going to be a border gore peace conference, but the most important part was we got the island. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Look what they did to my India. Look! With the second Georgia now secured, with only 30 people on it, there remains only 1 Georgia left to get, in the Soviet Union, which means I kind of need access to start a quick war with old Stalin. Finland is going after the Soviet Union. Ah, the German Reich. Okay, brilliant, thank you. That was so confusing for a second. We do actually have the preparations of a naval invasion on the way. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get it all set up. Well, I guess there's no time like the present. Let's see what we can do. Okay, it looks like the Ukrainian corridor appears to be opening up like butter. I'm unsure for how long this is going to be the case, but playing at 5 speed, everything looks to be doing okay. Okay, I appear to have found a little bit of an opening. Oh my goodness, I've just seen what lies ahead. Okay, maybe that's not so good an idea. I am once again under serious consideration that Paradox should really address Germany's ability to build up their railways and supply, specifically on Operation Barbarossa. This feels like one of the only campaigns in the game where the AI will literally fail on its ability to understand the core game system. And I mean, look at these red bubbles. If they just built it up a little bit, they'd be fine. Oh wait, we've got a naval invasion, which I might have accidentally left on while I was busy dealing with the Russian front. Yeah, I've managed to get myself a little bit stuck in Crimea, but, you know, don't worry about that. I'm sure it's fine. The aim of the game, of course, is to make sure that we get Georgia. Okay, the landings in Vladivostok are a little bit dramatic, I guess is the word we're going to use. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this bad. I think I've just given up on the Axis. I think they're useless. I'm literally going to slug it in Vladivostok and move my way across Siberia. This line just goes so slowly, and the time it takes to build supply is just so silly. Vladivostok is ours, and a nice little encirclement. While I was busy over in the east, Italy seems to have made some good work in the Caucasus, so I feel like maybe now could be the time to see if they'll give me Georgia. Does that mean we get an achievement? No. I see, we don't own Georgia. That's the key problem. We're going to have to get it in the peace deal. But it's good that we've taken it now. It's going to make taking it later even easier. I think it's also time for an illustration of the player versus the AI. So here, you might be able to see a corridor. This is a corridor of level 4 railways that I am continuing to build the entire time. That's all I'm building. And look, if you do this, the AI can push. And if you don't, they're just bogged down. They cannot do anything. They're still struggling for Leningrad. I mean, it's just silly. But that's not going to stop me from just taking all the victory points over here. Good news from the west, the fall of Moscow. Well, it's good to see that Germany has finally figured out how to take it. Oh god, they're losing Leningrad. This is so dumb, this is so dumb. Learn how to build a railway, please learn. I mean, I don't want to say anything to jinx it, but I'd say that things in the east are going relatively well. Relatively well. Oh, and they finally got Leningrad. Good for them. Oh, we won. I wasn't paying attention. But I guess after we took so many of those victory points up to the Urals, you've kind of guaranteed the win. So, one state more important than any other has to be Georgia. It would be good to get the oil in the region while we're here too. Let's see how we did then. This should be an achievement. Georgia on my mind as the USA own and fully control all 3 Georgias. And there it is, the Caucasus Mountains, owned by America. What a mighty sight. Surely I did not do it for the oil. Surely not. Of course the question is now what to do about everything else. Well, we don't really need to worry about this supply anymore, and we can kind of just speedline into building a ton of military factories and nuclear reactors. Just watching my construction queue. Not too much else to do really. The French government returns to Paris. Well, now that they have Paris, maybe it might be easier to drop something on it. We can hope at least. With nuclear bombs now researched, that is the final ticking stone to get nuclear bombs being built, and we should have one in 45 days. Well, I've been playing this save for a while now because I kind of wanted to see just how much air I could get over Vichy, considering that Germany has such an advantage over me. It's time to leave, ignore that, it's time to leave the faction and begin a justification. The justification is complete. I truly have no idea what's about to happen. But I suppose we're about to find out. So it begins. So, the only question is, where do we have air superiority? Do we have it in France? I'm afraid not, but we do have the strat bomber in range. Wait, that looks green to me. If we have green air, is this going to be the achievement? Boom. Team America, as the USA drop a nuclear bomb on Paris. I'm going to be honest with you though, I am not going to be able to beat the Axis, which now call themselves NATO. That's never going to happen. So with 2 achievements done, I am quite happy to call it here and say GG. Hopefully this video showed you how there's a pretty straightforward, safe way to getting the Georgia on my mind achievement, where you just stick with the Axis and make sure the new peace deal conference system really works to your advantage. In many ways, coming back to these old achievements is a reminder of how far the game has come, so that things that used to be really annoying, where maybe Germany would steal Georgia from you instantly in the peace deal, that's not a thing anymore, which makes achievements like this much more doable. And also we nuked Paris at the end because, well, why not? Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you liked, feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!